Hello, my hair is so puffy right now, but we are in my car because I want to just film like a life update, sit down, chatty Q&A video. I've actually not filmed a video since I filmed my Alpha Elite haul. I've had a lot going on, and in hindsight, it's a good bloody job that I had those videos to post. Otherwise, I wouldn't have posted for like a month on YouTube. If you saw my viral TikTok about Dan moving to Dubai, you'll definitely be aware because Jesus Christ, I wasn't expecting that to happen. But obviously I do a lot of like vlogs and stuff, especially when you vlog and stuff. Like if my energy is like off, I hate the videos. Like I hate the videos. I feel like you can tell I'm sad, you can tell I'm in a bad mood, and I don't mind sharing my like sadder moments in life with you guys. I think it's important to share that sort of stuff, but also I don't want you to be subjected to a 40-minute video of the vibes just being completely off. So I just needed to, obviously I've still been working in terms of like coaching and stuff and Instagram, and then the Alpha Elite launch was actually a pretty welcome distraction, but I just needed to not pick up camera because the videos would have been shit, and I hate posting a video I'm not happy with. I don't just want to upload a vlog one day and you guys be like, well, this is a different background, or if you've been watching me for a while, you'll be like, oh, I recognise this background. So I just thought I would do like a life updates video, a chatty Q&A. So that's basically what this video is. I have honestly had the shittest past like 5 to 6 weeks. Honestly, you know when things just keep happening and you're like, nah, this has got to be a sick joke, like this has to be a sick joke. There's certain things that I don't really want to get too into because, to be honest, I just don't really want to speak about them. But I've just been in such a weird headspace. I've had two very harsh reminders recently of how short life can really be, which has then put me in a bit of a weird headspace in terms of like sort of like an existential crisis about life, but also, and I also feel like it's especially strange when someone like passes away like before their time. Like I know that none of us are promised tomorrow, but for example, when grandparents pass away, is it sad? Yes, but also, you know, if someone's 80, 90, had a really good life, and that doesn't make it any less sad, but it's sort of just like a natural thing that happens. But when people are dying at like 25, 26, it just feels really unsettling. Like that's basically how it's been feeling, basically. Yeah, I don't really want to get into that too much, but it's just been quite sad and very strange. And like the fact that it was like 2 people in the space of like 3 to 4 weeks, it's just made me feel a bit like, I don't know, I feel like you can tell I can't really describe how I feel. But another thing to update you guys on, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that my sister had 2 guinea pigs that were in my vlogs and stuff when I was back at home. Plot twist, I'm back at home again, but my sister's moved out now. She had Sheila, which was the white like big fluffy one, and then Rhubarb, which was the little silky chocolatey coloured one. And unfortunately about 5 weeks ago now, Rhubarb did pass away. It was like the average age for a guinea pig, so she had a very good life, but that came as a bit of a shock because there was nothing really wrong with her. But I've had guinea pigs so many times in my life. Like guinea pigs were our sort of pets growing up because we weren't allowed anything bigger. Always comes as a bit of a shock. I've never had a guinea pig other than one, which was called Chloe, where she was like quite clearly unwell for like a whole night and then she passed away. But the rest of them, it's always a bit of a shock. Like they seem fine, like they're eating fine, they're drinking fine, and then one day it's just like, peace out, y'all. I guess the meat of the life updates is my living situation. So I have moved back home now. I've moved back home to Bradford. Dan has gone to Dubai. I wasn't even in the loop myself with that. Neither was Dan, because it was such a hoo-ha. Like it was meant to go April 1st. Then he was having issues with his visa, so it was May 1st. Then he was having real issues with getting like his medical exam, because obviously he's like a healthcare person, he's an osteopath. We were thinking, oh, he probably won't actually go until September now. So then I sort of like was like, okay, he's not going until September, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's going. And then he was meant to be going like 1 week, and then he pushed it back another week, and basically space of 2 weeks it went from I'm going in September to I'm leaving in like under 2 weeks. So that was just a whole hoo-ha, and I tried to keep people in the loop, but I wasn't even in the bloody loop myself. Obviously that's another reason why I've not been filming, because honestly Friday was fucking rough. I had to move all my stuff out, and then I said bye to Dan. I didn't actually take him to the airport because I would then have to drive back from Manchester, and oh my god, the drive from Leeds to Bradford, that was bad enough, honey. Like the tears were real. It's been very difficult, not gonna lie. I'm gonna try not to cry in this video, but everything in conjunction in the past 5 to 6 weeks has honestly been nothing short of fucking horrible. And it's just, there's never a good time for any of these things to happen, but Jesus Christ, talk about bad timing. it's not been the best month. You know, April, start of May was a little bit of a rough ride, but it's now Friday today, so I've been back home for a week. Dan's been in Dubai for a week. It's not been too bad yet, to be honest, in terms of like long distance and stuff. Like, we've spoken every single day, but I feel like it hits me on days where I'm not as busy. And my issue is, I mean, it's not an issue, it really bloody helps, but I will keep myself busy, like occupied AF, and I've kept myself really busy. I've been getting up at like 7:30. I've had so much to do anyway, because I'm actually going on holiday tomorrow, first family holiday in 5 years. I'm very excited. We're going to Lucca in Tuscany. So that'll be nice, and I feel like that's come at a good time as well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not one to be like, I need a holiday, because I have a relatively very easy life, but like, fuck me, I need a holiday. My brain needs a holiday. I just need a bloody holiday. So I've got that tomorrow, but yeah, it's not easy. It's shit. And I actually made a TikTok about him moving to Dubai, and I just thought it was a little hee hee ha ha TikTok. Oh my god, people were doing think pieces, and it went viral. It's got like 1 million views. People were doing think pieces in the comments about how the only hobby in Dubai is cheating, long distance never works out. And I've also had quite a lot of people asking me to speak about that in this video, because I put like a question box on Instagram, so I guess we'll sort of segue into the questions here, asking me about like how I sort of feel about things. Now, I don't want what I'm about to say to come off as cold in any way, but this is like a testament to how far I've come with like my mental well-being, so to speak, because I've always been someone that really struggles with relationship anxiety. I, 2 years ago, would be the sort of person, like before I checked myself into therapy, I was the sort of person where would have ended up moving to a country, not a country, sorry, I know it's not a country, but I would have ended up moving somewhere where I don't want to bloody live because I'm scared of losing someone, or because I don't want to lose that relationship. Amongst other things why I started going to therapy, because I was like, whoa, we're gonna have to draw the line somewhere, baby girl. Like, we can't be doing this, because you know deep down that's not what you want to be doing, okay? We're gonna have to really strengthen up that self-esteem and confidence and all that good stuff. So that was actually part of the reason why I did start going. And oh my god, I'm so glad I did, because honestly, I used to be such an anxious person when it came to relationships. Like, always thinking like, what if they don't like me anymore? What if they break up with me? What if he moves away and finds someone else? What if he moves away and then realises he doesn't actually like me as much as he thinks he likes me? What if he moves away and does X, Y, Z? What if he does this? What if they do that? All this sort of stuff. I've always been that sort of person. I'm very much a sensitive Sally. I pick up on tone changes. So if someone's tone is off, that's something I've always struggled with. I'm like a sponge. I soak up other people's energy, so it's really hard if someone's tone is off or if they're in a bad mood for me not to take that personally. I take it very personally, or at least I used to, and I used to think, oh my god, there's something wrong, they want to dump me, blah blah blah, and it's so unhealthy. Honestly, my stance now on like long distance and stuff, and like, are you not worried about cheating? Well, first of all, I'm not worried about that anyway, because if I was worried, I wouldn't be with someone that I'm worried about that with. Call me delusional, but I'm just not worried about it. Used to be a chronic worry about these things. Now I'm like, I also very much believe in the let them. Like, if someone's gonna cheat, whether they're in Dubai, whether they're in Leeds, whether they're in London, wherever they are, they're gonna bloody do it. Like, they'll find a way to do it. Yes, being further away makes it a lot easier to get away with it in secret, but if someone's gonna do it, they're gonna do it. Just in terms of like long distance and stuff, and will things work out? And obviously I don't want this to sound cold, because it's not cold. I've just come such a long way in how I used to feel about things. Like, I used to be so anxious and overthink all the time, and it was just so draining for me. Whereas now, and I'm not even just saying this to try and make people feel better who are going long distance and stuff, but honestly my mindset on this now is just, if it works out, like if it's meant to be, it will work out. And that doesn't mean don't put any effort in, sit back, see what happens, all that sort of stuff. That just means, look, if you know you're putting the effort in, if you know you're holding up your end of the bargain, and you're making an effort and you're trying, and things don't work out, then they're just not meant to be. And that's my basically ethos on most things in life now. Obviously that's not, like I said, to say just sit back and see what happens and don't put any effort into your friendships, relationships. If it's meant to be, it'll be, because obviously you need to put effort into things, but I do believe if it's meant to be, it will be. One of the most helpful things I ever learned when it came to my anxiety and stuff is just that worrying about things is a little bit silly, because worst case scenario, that thing does happen, and then even though you've worried, it's still not going to prepare you for actually dealing with when said thing occurs. So then you've worried twice, and you've probably spent months, even years in some people's cases, worrying about something, and probably made yourself quite unwell, and just stressed yourself out. Best case scenario is that thing doesn't happen, but you've equally spent months being miserable because you were worrying about something so much. And I always remind myself of that when I start worrying about things too much, and that is basically that on that. I'm trying not to worry about things too much. There's a lot of people in the exact same position, and she was just saying about like not taking these sort of decisions personally. That's really fucking hard not to. I would be lying if I said there isn't little bits of me that have taken this decision personally, or that there's been times, should I say, where I've really felt this personally and felt like it's something wrong with me. But like, some people were throwing the 2 pence in on the TikTok and being like, oh, you should have stayed, or a lot of the people were saying you should have gone. Like, sorry, this is not the 1800s where we just follow men everywhere they go to our mental detriment. Like, I do not want to live there, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. And if you want to know my reasons for not moving, I have actually spoken about it on YouTube before, but in summary, family, work, and I just don't want to live there. And I feel like sometimes with relationships or life decisions, a lot of people struggle with coming up with reasons for things. Please know, especially ladies in particular, because we feel like we need a million different reasons, not wanting to move to a different country, not wanting to continue a relationship is a good enough reason. There doesn't need to be this big terrible thing or like this huge overarching reason behind every single decision you make. Also a reminder to ladies to make the decision that is right for you, because I feel like men are definitely more encouraged still to make the decision that's right for them, whereas women not so much. Like, the ratio of comments under my TikTok telling me that I should have gone with him as opposed to the ratio of people saying that he should have stayed was wild. Like, it was like 80-20, people just almost insinuating I'm stupid for not going. Bitch, I don't want to move there. Like, end of story. Also highlighted how fucking mean people are. Like, people really do online go out of their way to be mean and miserable and not helpful at all. Like, it really did highlight that for me, so that was an interesting experience. But yes, I'm back home. Dan's in Dubai. I've moved back in with my mum and dad. In terms of next steps, I will be going to Dubai to visit Dan. He's coming back for my sister's wedding in June, and then I'm going to go and visit him in Dubai end of June. It's going to be really hot, but it's going to be hot all through summer, so I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. I'm looking at like houses and stuff, but I'm not in any rush. I feel like right now I just want to enjoy the time with my parents. Like, time is so precious, and if there is anything I've learned over the past 6 weeks, it's that, you know, I'm someone who, I've spoken about it before, I've got a lot of anxiety about my parents' age, and it's really reminded me, like, just like, don't even think about that stuff, because even though, like, for example, my mum's quite a bit younger than my dad, I never like ran the numbers on my mum as much as I do with my dad, because my dad's nearly 80 and that just feels like more of a pressing issue. But it just made me realise, like, it's so pointless running these numbers and trying to work out how much time you've got left, because you just don't know. So I just want to enjoy my time with them. I'm really looking forward to this holiday that we're going on. By the time this video goes up, I will be on holiday. That is basically the vibes right now. I am looking at houses and stuff, but I'm not gonna buy something that's not quite right just because I'm in a hurry to move out. Honestly, I'm quite enjoying being at home. I've not cooked my tea all week. I've made my lunches and I made my breakfast, but I've been joining in on the family tea times, and it's bloody great. Garth's a great chef. It's been a very difficult past few weeks for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, people have passed away, Dan's moved away. The Alpha Elite launch, honestly, was fucking anxiety inducing. I really struggled with that launch. I think because I went to Turkey, and then I don't want to get into that too much, but like, that launch, I honestly felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. There is a new Alpha Elite launch coming. It's coming on the 30th, so it's actually a Thursday this time, 12 PM CST, 6 PM UK time. It's the new Tenacity range. There isn't any bottoms because they had an issue with them, so they've actually pulled them and decided not to launch them. But the bras are coming, and I've actually had them for a few months. I've had them since I went to Turkey, so I will be able to go over all that, but my review might be up a little bit late because I get back on the 24th. I'm going to aim to have the review up 26th, 27th, I'm aiming for. But yeah, I'll pop in like the PDF of everything that's launching if anyone was curious. This is everything that is coming up. And yeah, a review will probably be my next video after this. I'm also considering vlogging Lucha, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to just like take it completely off or if I want to vlog it. I've not fully decided what I want to do there yet, so... Oh, sorry, I'm just moving you there so that I can sit back back a little bit. So I thought I would get into a bit of like a Q&A now. On the topic of moving back home, actually, I wanted to let my YouTube people know when I get back from holiday, I'm going to start listing a lot of items. They're all Alphalete, and don't worry, you're hearing the word listing and you're thinking, bitch, you got that shit for free. I would never, will never, have never taken money for something that I got sent for free. Usually what I do is I make these like huge bundles up and then I just give them away for free, but I feel like that is just giving my problem to someone else, because the reality of someone wanting everything in that bag is very slim. They probably want 2 or 3 things, and also you don't need a package of like 20 things. It's sort of like reinforcing what I'm trying to go against by giving stuff away and getting rid of how much stuff I own. I basically did a huge cull of my activewear. Like, I'll pop in a little clip of me doing it here. It made me feel sick how much stuff I own, because it's the first time in years I've seen everything that's like a bit older that I left at my mum and dad's house in combination with everything that I've accumulated since I moved in with Dan, and holy fucking crap, it's disgusting. Like, there is no sugarcoating this. It is disgusting how much stuff I own, or should I say owned, or soon will have owned. I still own a ridiculous amount of activewear, but obviously that's for work. But the amount of stuff that we own as influencers is actually, it's fucking grim. Like, it's so disgusting. And I don't know if it's like I'm about to hit 25, that prefrontal lobe is really developing, but it just really icked me out going through it all. It was gross, and like, I didn't realise how much subconscious stress it was causing me owning this much stuff. Like, there's only so much room I've got, and I was like running out of room, and now I've got 3 empty drawers, which is unheard of for me. I've actually got space. I've got a quarter of the hanging space in my wardrobe free. I've got a quarter of my under bed storage free. Like, I've actually got storage again. So I'm gonna keep on top of this now. Every single month when I get my Alphalete packages, I'm gonna be giving things away that I either don't need or won't use. And just to clarify, you will see things listed that I've said I loved, and I do still love those items, but it'll probably just be that there might be another colour that I'm reaching for more, or just the sheer fact that I don't need to keep all this stuff even if I like it. Deborah's there. Hello, Deborah. There she goes. So yeah, I'm going to be listing everything. I'm going to try use a cross-listing app. So like Europe, America, UK, you can all be included in that. But everything will be listed for £5. Postage won't be included. It will be on top of that. For context, there'll be like tiny packages unless you order multiple things. US, I've just sent a package this morning and it cost me £7 to send a large letter. So like a t-shirt fits in a large letter. So that's £7. So that's about $10-ish, $10, $11. But all the money on the items, everything will be listed for £5, which is about $7 or $8. Everything will be listed for £5, and every single penny of that is being donated to Palestinian families. You guys know, if you're familiar with my channel, familiar with my content, this is something I've been speaking about for a while now. It felt like a good way to sort of give back to you guys for an absolute bargain, raise some money for charity, and then also make sure that you guys are actually getting things that you want, and not just me thrusting things that I don't want anymore upon you. And of course I will continue, as I have for the past like 5 years, to give things away to you guys completely free of charge. This isn't the end of that, but it's just the sheer amount of stuff that I've got. It's a really good opportunity to raise some money for a very worthy cause. And I will actually leave down below a link, Operation Olive Branch, which has a huge spreadsheet on it of like over 500 Palestinian families. It's got their names, information about them, what they need help with, why they need help, and then a link to donate. So I'm going to leave that below because that's what I'm going to be using when it comes to donating the money. But yes, every single penny of that, I'm not pocketing a single penny from this. But yeah, those should be listed in a couple weeks time. It's going to take me a while, but I think I'm going to like pay my sister to help me with it. So I guess the first thing I wanted to speak about was hobbies. I feel like I've got no bloody hobbies. Like, everything that was a hobby I've now turned into work, which is obviously, that's a huge privilege. Most people can't do that. I'm very grateful for that, but hobbies they are different to work. Like, when your hobby becomes work, it's not a hobby anymore. And that doesn't mean that you don't still love it. Obviously I still love the gym, I still love fitness, but it's not a hobby anymore. I want things that I don't do for money, and I went to go watch the challenges, basic bitch, but I kind of want to start playing tennis. But then it's like, when you start a hobby, how do you even start it? Like, do I get lessons? Do I pay someone to show me? Do I just go and buy a racket and some balls and go to the park? Where do I go to play tennis? If anyone in Bradford or Leeds has got any recommendations, please let me know. But I kind of want to, like, I want to do tennis, I want to try Pilates, I actually want to try pole fitness as well. She's crazy, she's going out on a whim. I want to try new things. I'm feeling very in the mood for trying new things. I'm feeling like it's a new era of life. And as I've been reminded very harshly recently, life's too fucking short, so why not? Let's go do some random shit. Let's pick up some hobbies, do you know what I mean? Another thing actually, which I've not spoken about, is Kate, when I went to London, she brought me a hydro jug. Guys, like, I love my Stanley, and I do still think my Stanley is more aesthetically appealing, just gonna be completely honest, but obviously I can't do this with my Stanley, so this is ideal for like throwing in my bag. But yeah, I want to pick up some hobbies, so if anyone's got any like hobby suggestions, or like how do I pick up a hobby? Obviously I know how to start Pilates, you go and book a class, but I feel like with tennis it's a bit different. Like, how do you do that? I don't know. And on the topic of trying new things, something that someone asked me about was making friends in your 20s, which is definitely something that I struggle with, but I think that's because I work for myself and I work from home, so I don't have work friends because I don't work with anyone. Obviously I've got Aisha, who does my social media for coaching, and I would actually class her as a friend, but she lives in London, I live in Bradford, we're quite far apart. Honestly, one of the main things, and I'm not just saying this to plug my own Discord, but I have actually made genuine friends through my Discord. Like, I went to London to spend the week with Nicole and Kate. Gabby came, we met up with Aisha as well. And it's not like this weird thing where it's like, oh, I spent the week with my fans. Like, no, like, I don't view you guys as that. I view you guys, especially when I have like a very personal relationship with you and I've spent a week with you. No, that's a friend, that's not a fan. I don't believe in the whole word fan anyway, that makes me cringe. Obviously you've got people that follow you on social media. Yeah, obviously they're not all your friends. Fucking hell, some people that follow you on social media don't even like you. Some people that DM you all the time don't even bloody like you, which that has been a scary realisation, which has also actually been why I feel like I've not been as open or as forthcoming. Like I was saying on Instagram, I sort of just went, not ghost, but like I wasn't on Instagram for weeks. I wasn't posting anything other than work related things or things I needed to post for weeks, for reasons I've obviously explained at the start of this video. But I'm also just not as comfortable, and this is nothing against you guys because 95% of you are amazing, but I'm just not as comfortable coming online and sharing sad or like negative things anymore, because I've had a few reminders in the past 12 months that, and it's just something that I don't understand, because if I don't like someone, I'm not going to follow them. To me, that's really strange. If someone's not my cup of tea, or I don't really like the content they post, or I don't like their personality, or whatever it is, I'm not going to follow that person. Like, it's weird towards them, but it's also a very strange thing to do to yourself. How is your blood pressure okay, just constantly seeing people that you don't actually like every single time you open your phone? Like, I can't think of anything bloody worse. But I've had a few reminders in the past year that not everyone that follows you does like you. Not everyone that's your friend even likes you secretly. Not everyone that's in your DMs all the time necessarily likes you, and it's been a very strange reminder for me. A lesson I probably needed to learn sooner rather than later, because I feel like I've always been very close with you guys and people that follow me in general, and I've always shared a lot, but it does make me want to just sort of like revert into myself, and even down to like my personality. I feel like I'm back to it now, and I have been the past few months, but there was like months towards the end of last year and like the start of this year where I didn't want to speak on Instagram stories. I didn't want to be too like personable or like show my personality more, or come on and like just yap and talk shit, which is just something look, I like doing it. It feels like I'm on FaceTime with you guys. That's what I enjoy, but I didn't want to do that because I just felt so uncomfortable, because I've had these reminders that people literally like watch my stuff or like follow me to then be like really fucking horrible about me. And I've just really, I think because I didn't know that before. It sounds really dumb, but I just didn't know that before. I was a little bit naive. That sort of made me a little bit, But anyway, back to making friends in your 20s. My Discord group has helped so much because I've actually been able to make genuine friends through that. Working with Alphalete has helped me a lot as well because I've actually been able to make friends through that as well. But obviously that's a bit more difficult because I am in the UK, everyone else is in America. I'm going to be completely honest, I feel left out a lot of the time, probably like because of distance, but it's very difficult when you don't live in the same country. Honestly, the main thing that I would say is to like try and join communities online and then take it offline. Don't stay online with these things, because I personally feel like I was so connected online the past year, especially since I made my Discord, but I've never felt more disconnected from my real life. And the past 6 weeks, especially with people passing away and stuff, it's really just made me want to like really hone in on like my actual real life, like the people that are like immediately around me, watering those relationships, reaching out to people a bit more, being a bit more forthcoming with things. The internet's amazing for making initial connections, but then where you can, try and take it offline, try and take it into real life, because the internet can never ever replace that. Loads of Facebook groups for like, even if you're into like a specific brand, like there's one for Honor Active, there's one for Alphalete, there's a gym girls group, there's that I can't remember her name, but there's someone that works with Gymshark that's got like the gym girls locker room. They do meetups through that. If you're into running, one of my old coaching clients, Martha Walsh, she is like huge on Instagram now, absolutely. She's just the nicest person as well, by the way, if anyone was curious. She does running clubs, there's all these different things. So like if you are following like fitness influencers or you're into something else, try and join the communities and then see if there's anyone that's in your local area that you can go and meet up with. Common interests are a really good way. Like I've made new friends through basically activewear and fitness and the gym, and that's basically how I've been able to do it. So I would say common interests, because work friends and stuff are amazing, and obviously if you're able to do that, then that is amazing. But hobbies, common interests and all that sort of stuff will probably give you more long-lasting friendships, because a lot of my friends who have work friends, when they change jobs, they don't keep their work friends, they then make new work friends. So I feel like it might give you more of a consistent friendship if it wasn't tied to work. Obviously I can't speak too much on that because I work for myself and I don't have colleagues other than Aisha, and like I said, she's in London. But the internet's amazing for starting these relationships, but then try and take it offline. Try and take it offline. It's so much better, it's so much more fruitful, and that's actually something that I really want to start doing. Obviously I went to London with Nicole and Kate because they basically planned to meet up with each other and then very kindly asked me, and obviously I put out a feeler for my Discord and stuff, and some people were meant to come and then had to cancel on the day. Gabby was still able to come, but I actually really want to do more things like that, where I put like a thing on Instagram or Discord or all of it, and YouTube as well, and you guys can basically come to like Manchester or something. I think I'll probably do Manchester next, and we'll organise something and have like a day out where you guys can meet each other. I don't really want it to be about meeting me, that makes me feel a little bit icky because bitch, who the fuck do you think you are? But meeting each other, like I want to meet you guys just as much. So meeting each other, and then we can make friendships, because I know that people have made amazing friendships. Like the girls who came to Houston last year from my Discord group are all still friends now. I think they're actually going away again with each other. They're all still really good friends, and that was their first time meeting in person. So I really want to like nurture that, because I feel like we've got something very special and I want everyone to feel included and everyone to feel like they can come. The only thing that I'm like struggling with is like numbers. And like how do I do it? Like, do I use an Eventbrite's page? If anyone's got any advice on how to do it or any ideas, please let me know. But I really want to start doing more stuff like that. I think it would be really nice. But yeah, those would be my tips, like hobbies and common interests. Try find groups on social media, and from there you can take it offline. Obviously stranger danger, always be careful, but a lot of these groups are women only. Like my Discord is women only, so yeah. Basically that would be my tips for that, but it's fucking hard. Like it is really really hard. Another thing that I have been asked is about Alphalete upcoming launches, which I've already gone over. So yeah, there's a new launch on the 30th. It's Tenacity, some new Amplify bottoms and some new t-shirts, which I will be making a review as soon as I get my bras. I don't have them yet. I've got the ones from Turkey, but I don't have like the actual colours or like the finished one. I don't know if they've changed anything, so I'm going to hold my horses on showing those in great detail until I've got like the actual ones, but obviously I won't get those until I come back from holiday. But yes, another question that I got was, would I want my own activewear brand, basically? And I've thought about this quite a lot recently. I feel like I've thought about it a lot more seriously over the past year. I feel like there's so many activewear brands that I'm like, I don't know if we need another one. But in terms of like a collection, girl, I would bite the hands off at the opportunity. Don't get me wrong, the situation with the last launch has definitely showed me. I think it would probably give me quite a lot of anxiety, but good things never come from within your comfort zone. But yeah, that was definitely one of the most like anxiety inducing launches ever. But I would love to do my own collection with a brand if the opportunity arose. Obviously Alphalete would be my top pick, but I don't really think that's something that they offer, so I don't know. But I have ideas, like I literally have a list in my phone of like products I would either create or collaborate on. Like I've had that list for like a year, so. But I think there's probably bigger fish to fry. I think there would be people at the top of the pecking order that would be much higher than me for that opportunity first, whether they've like been with the brand longer than I have, or following, or I don't know, sales, whatever. I don't know. I feel like there would be quite a few people above that, but I'd happily wait my turn if it was something they were doing. But yeah, it is something that I do think about. I don't want to make any rash decisions. These things are expensive. I looked into making sweats and stuff a couple of months ago. I'd still really love to do it, but it's so expensive. Like, you don't just need a little bit of money, you need money. Especially, like, you guys know, I'm an absolute like fiend for a high quality piece. High quality pieces come at a high quality cost, which then also means they wouldn't be like cheap pieces of clothing either. Like 5 figures expensive, which is a lot of money, like a lot of money. That is the dream, I guess. That is the dream, but we shall see. Advice for starting social media. I gave this advice the other week on Instagram. Be yourself. I know it sounds really cliche, but be yourself. And if you've got like a unique thing about your personality, don't let it blend into the background. Like, put it at the forefront of your content, put it at the forefront of your stuff that you're putting out, basically, would be my advice. Because for me personally, I feel like a lot of people have merged into one. A lot of people's content looks the same, a lot of people's personalities have merged. Like, there isn't that much individualism online, so whatever it is that you've got that's a little bit more unique to you, definitely amplify it, if you'll pardon the pun. Definitely amplify that. Don't copy people. I always say, if you're copying someone, the best case scenario is you will only ever be a second-rate version of that person, because they are them, and you trying to be them, you would just be a knockoff version of them. Whereas if you're yourself, you can be number one, because you are you. No one else is you. You are you. Thing to be aware of, as I'm saying, don't copy people, is as a smaller creator, as you build a following, do be aware of the fact that you will get people. It's hard to say with social media and like copying and stuff, because nothing's an original idea. Sorry, you're really not that special. Most things online are not original ideas, but people do have like a certain way of doing things, or a certain knack to their like personality, or the way that they go about things, or like interests that they have, the way that they do things, the way that they produce their content, which can be quite individual to them. And something that I see all the time, which drives me insane, is people don't give credit, especially when it comes to smaller creators. Something I've noticed, which I find so interesting, and it has happened to me a couple of times, not that much, because guys, I'm a very small fish in this pond, you know. I don't think anyone's looking at me being like, oh, I want a piece of that pie, but it has happened a couple of times. But I've noticed it with other people as well, is it's very rare for someone to give credit to a smaller creator, but they will happily give credit to someone that's got more followers than them, and I don't. It's very weird. So that's just something to be aware of. On the other side of me saying don't copy people, a lot of people can see when someone's being disingenuous, or when someone is like taking bits from other people. It is very obvious when someone's doing it, so just be yourself, find your niche. Your vibe will attract your tribe, you will find your people. Don't worry too much about what other people are doing. Obviously be aware of trends and stuff, but curate a community rather than looking at followers, because a community will serve you so much more than followers will. Followers don't mean anything. A community is really, really, really important, and to be honest, is why you should be wanting to do this anyway, to help people and to have like a community. Another person has asked me if I can speak about my nose job again. Oh God, I feel like I've spoke about it so many times. For anyone that's not aware, God, this is really blowing it out so you can't see. I got a nose job. My nose isn't real. I had a bump taken off it. I don't really have any further updates for you all. The only thing is, which someone did actually ask me the other day because she went to the same surgeon. She was like, oh my God, I just got on the plane and it swelled up so much. When does this stop? Never. My nose swells in the heat and on planes and stuff. And like when I cry, it really swells much more than it ever used to. I know that quite a few people always ask me about where I got it done. So just a heads up, he is retiring. So he won't be working in like a year's time, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know what you want to know, girl. Leave it in the comments, I guess. I don't really have anything to say. I know that you said that you were getting yours done, but I've got 2 videos on my nose, so I will leave those linked down below. But yeah, this is my nose. And I'm now like nearly 4 years. Is it 3 or 4 years? No, 3 years. I'm nearly 3 years post-op. This is my side profile. This is my nose when I smile. And this is my nose from the front, and then this is my nose from the other side. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't have any regrets. I am very happy with my nose. No, I didn't want a ski slope nose before someone comments. Every single time I speak about my nose, people are like, you've had a nose job? Like, ooh, like, it doesn't look like a nose job. And sometimes it's definitely a compliment, but sometimes it's definitely like, ooh, you should have gotten that smaller and more scooped out. Didn't want it like that. Didn't want it like that. Said that from the start. Yeah, I really like my nose. I feel like it kept character in my face, which is what I was actually panicking about just before I got it done. I was like, what if my nose, even though I hate it, what if it's what's holding my face together, and without it I look fucked? Like, what if I look really bad? Because I never, this sounds really, it shouldn't sound big-headed, we should be able to say things like this, but I never felt facially like ugly. Obviously I've had days where I feel ugly, but with my old nose I didn't think I was like ugly. I still thought I was like quite pretty. I think I look quite pretty, but my nose was something that I just really didn't like on my face. I just didn't like it on my face. Love it on other people, didn't like it on my face. Then I started to panic because I was like, oh, I actually do like how I look, I just don't like my nose, and what if my nose is keeping my face together? But I'm happy with it. I think it's kept character. I've still got quite a strong nose. It's quite straight, which I personally really like, and I'm really happy with it. I think it'll look good in years to come. You know, I'm not going to hit 60 and it's going to look weird because I've gone for something that's too small for my face. I'm honestly pretty happy with it. Any advice for breakups? My boyfriend dumped me last week. First of all, sorry to hear about that. I nearly said fuck your boyfriend then, but we don't know why he dumped you. You know, maybe it wasn't quite right for him, and you know, these things happen, but breakups can take you off guard sometimes. My number one favourite thing, and this is something that I got from, I think it was the girls' bathroom, like years ago, like probably 4 years ago. It was during lockdown. I was out on a walk listening to it, and they basically said, this is going to be fresh for you girls, so I understand, but it's only been a week, so it might still be too fresh. But in terms of breakups, I like to think about it, and this is what I always say to people if like a friend is going through a breakup, is this is one door closed, yes, and that's sad, that's awful. Feel what you've got to feel, don't suppress it. Don't like go out drinking all the time and try to like plug your sadness with all this stuff. Obviously go and have fun if that's what you want to do, but don't distract. Feel what you need to feel, then you can move on. The person wasn't right for you. That's why it's not worked out. So now, you might not feel like it right now, but it's actually really exciting because you now, they've just given you like the best gift ever. They've given you the gift of your time, because now they're not wasting your time anymore. You weren't right together. They're not wasting your time. They've given you a gift in letting you go, because now you are going to be able to find the person that is right for you. Think about how much like love and care and stuff that people put into relationships. Imagine putting that into something where like it's fully reciprocated and like it's just beautiful, and like, yes, one door has closed, but like 30 more have just swung wide open. Like, there's so much opportunity here. You're gonna have more time for yourself, more time for your friends, more time for your family, more time for your career if that's something that you're interested in or of the age of. If you're studying, you've got more time to study, more time for your degree. You've also now got the opportunity for finding that right person, and obviously don't go out and do that right now, but you've got that opportunity there. You can now go and find someone that is going to be right for you, and I think that's really exciting. And it's a very like, ooh, that's a bit positive way of looking at a breakup, but It honestly helps me so much with anything in life that comes to an end. I always remind myself, okay, one door is closed, but like 30 more have just swung wide open. There's so much opportunity. Make the most of it because it won't last forever. Make the most of all this time with your friends, family, being able to just go and do what you want. The time you've got for your career, for studying, make the most of it. Exciting will it be when you find someone that is right for you and you can put all that love, care and attention and energy into the right person. That's bloody beautiful, that is. That is my advice on breakups. Feel what you've got to feel, but then this is an exciting opportunity and they've given you the best gift. They've given you your time. Another person has asked me, influencer pet peeves. I actually don't have, well, I do have a lot, but I don't want this video to turn into a very negative Nelly video. One of my absolute pet peeves with influencers is like trying to be relatable and like acting poorer than they are. Like, girl, we know you're pulling in like 50 to 100k a month. Why are you acting like you can't afford XYZ, or like you're going to be living off fucking rice and beans? Like, especially big influencers, like they will be earning that much money. Obviously it's one thing to be like conscious about money and not wanting to spaff it up the wall, that's smart, but like acting poor, acting like you've got a lot less than you have to try and be more relatable to your audience is just very strange to me. It's just something that I don't know, it just irks me. I don't know, but then I also understand why people do it, because as soon as people realise you actually make money, they won't like that. For me personally, all I need to want to follow someone, right, is a common interest. Say they're into the gym, I like the gym. I like the content they post about the gym, I follow them. Say they dress a way that I like, I will follow them. They have an interest in something I've got an interest in, fragrance, I might follow them. I do not care how much money these people earn. I care about their morals, I care about their values. For me personally, I want to know things like where they stand on certain issues. For me personally, that is important. If I'm following someone, shopping through their affiliate links, basically funding their lifestyle, I do care about where their morals, ethics and values lie. But in terms of how much money they fucking earn, I don't give a shit. I don't need to relate to that. Jackie Aina is such a good example. I cannot relate to that woman. That woman's house, phenomenal. That woman's tax bracket, obscene. But I love her content. I cannot relate to a lot of the things that she posts. I can't relate to a lot of the things that she owns, the way that she lives her life. I can't relate to that. I can relate to the things that she's got an interest in. I like her personality. I like following her. And so I don't really understand this, like, obviously I understand if you started following someone because they were posting affordable recipes and now they've got loads of money and they're posting fucking truffle pasta 5 days a week. I get it. That's like a big change in content and it's no longer relatable to you. I understand why that might not interest you anymore. But it doesn't make someone a bad person because they've changed. It just means that content's not for you anymore. So I understand why people act poorer than they are to be relatable, because people don't like it. Every job has got pros and cons, but influencing is an easy job. Sorry, it just is. It's probably in the top 5 easiest jobs in the world. I understand why sometimes it gets people's knickers in a twist, but also the money that influencers are getting was once going to be spent on like a fucking piece of paper on the side of a building to a massive corporation. It's just a form of marketing. Like the money that was going on these billboards and to magazines and to newspapers is now going to an individual instead. Personally, I don't see an issue with it, but I understand it rubs some people the wrong way. But yeah, I feel like that's why people do it, but it still irritates me when someone acts poorer than they are, because I'm like, what? I don't get it. And again, I think it just comes back to like, it's disingenuous, and that's probably like my #1 ick in a person, is someone that's disingenuous. If someone is like a grade A cunt, a grade A bitch, but they are very clear about the fact that they're a grade A bitch, I probably won't like that person. I don't want to be around them. The vibes are foul. They're not a nice person. But I can at least be like, okay, I know what I'm getting. Whereas with someone that acts like butter wouldn't melt, sweetness and light, but they're actually a really like quite nasty person, I find that way harder to deal with, because I don't like not knowing where I stand with people. You know, it's like when someone acts really, really nice to you, but all they do is ever talk shit about you. It's like when someone's like consistently roasting people and then they're under all the comments on Instagram. That scares me. Oh my God, that fucking scares the shit out of me. Because then when they comment under mine, I'm like, what are you saying about me? But yeah, influencer pet peeves, I guess it probably just boils down to being disingenuous. But yeah, acting poor when you're not, like, for the sake of relatability. Feeling lost after finishing uni. you haven't given much context. So I'm going to try and speak about how I felt to an extent after uni. I was very lucky, so I don't want to be tone deaf here, because I started my coaching, my YouTube alpha that started before I finished my degree, so I went straight into that after. But what I will say is not being a student anymore, not having the title of being a student anymore, threw me through a fucking loop, because I was like, oh, I am actually like a responsible adult now. Like, I'm not doing this on the side anymore and I'm a student. This is actually my job. Like, this is actually what I do. This is my life. Life is lifing. I don't know what the fuck's going on. That was basically how I felt when I finished uni. It felt quite overwhelming. You've been in education your whole life, and for most degrees, you're going to be finishing at what, like 21? Over 16 years of your life you spend in education, and then you're like thrust into the real world, and it's fucking scary. Everyone feels like this after uni. I remember when my sister finished uni and she just didn't know what she wanted to do. She'd done a degree that she didn't actually want to like follow a path in that sense, and it was actually, she did food science and nutrition, so it was actually one of those degrees where you're probably going to do a dietitian thing and then you'll be a dietitian, or you'll work in nutrition, and she just didn't want to do it after that. And I feel like that's really daunting, especially when you've done a degree where you feel like there's a clear path and then there isn't. The job market's very tough at the moment. Obviously I did marketing and management at uni. Marketing is a very like tough industry to get jobs in. It's quite hard. It's a lot of like, you know, who do you know rather than what you know. So it's very normal to feel lost because you're no longer in education and you've been there for over 16 years. Maybe do like a brainstorm on, say you've done like a degree that you really enjoyed, maybe do a brainstorm on the elements of your degree that you enjoyed. Or if you've hated your degree, do a brainstorm on the things you didn't like about your degree, or jobs that you might enjoy. Do some research into jobs that you might enjoy. Have a look at what sort of roles there even are. Like, I recently have been looking into like more long term for myself as well, actually pertaining to like clothing and fashion and stuff, and especially like activewear. I've realised there's jobs like a merchandiser. I didn't even know that was like a thing. There's definitely things that you can do to help yourself feel less lost. Have a look, see what sort of roles you could see yourself in, and speak to people, speak to your family, speak to your friends, speak to people on your course, because I can guarantee you're not the only person that's feeling like this. Obviously I didn't have to do the whole traditional job seeking thing after uni, so I don't want to be tone deaf and give you shit advice, because yeah, I can't really fully relate to that because I never had to do it. Speak to your friends, speak to people that were on your course, speak to your family, and see what they've got to say. See if they've got any advice when it comes to job seeking, because I'm not going to be the most helpful person for that, because it's just not a process that I personally went through. I was very, very lucky. Final question is feeling free in your 20s / having stability. This is something that people struggle with a lot. I've definitely noticed it with coaching clients as well, but I'm not going to come at it from a fitness point of view. It's definitely difficult because I feel like in your 20s as well, you've got a group of friends who have maybe stayed in the same city that you grew up in, and they've gone into full-time work, they've stayed with the partners that they had at school, they've had babies. Like, I'm 24, nearly 25. Most people I went to school with have either been engaged or got a child, or like bought houses. Then you've probably got a side of people that you went to school with that have like gone on to do their like dream career, and maybe they've moved away, or maybe they're still there but they're in the dream career. And then you've got a group of people that aren't really settled at all. They're off traveling, they're off gallivanting, they're doing what they want to do, and it's very like sort of, and even the people that go and do this traveling have these thoughts. They have these thoughts of like, do I travel or do I try and get myself on the property ladder? Everyone has these sorts of thoughts. I have these thoughts all the time, especially at the moment with me like moving back home and stuff. Okay, I do want to buy a house, but then also, do I want the golden cuffs of a mortgage right now when I don't really know where I want to live? I don't really know where I want to buy. I know that I want to spend a bit more time in America. Dan's in Dubai, I'll probably be traveling there a lot. But then it's like, I do want the stability of owning something, but then also at the same time it doesn't make sense to, and then financially that would actually cut me down quite a bit. So then maybe I wouldn't be able to go and do these things. I'm not like in the position where I can do both, which is probably actually why I'm stalling on buying a house, to be honest. I've not seen anything that I'm 100% for, but also I do think I'm probably being quite fussy because there's a higher opportunity cost basically when it comes to this for me, because of all the other things that I want to do, the opportunity cost of buying a house is actually quite high. Like, that's going to rob me of a lot of opportunities. Equally, if I was to go traveling, if I was to spend more time in America, spend more time in Dubai, that's going to cost me a lot of money that will eat away into a house deposit. So there's an opportunity cost to that as well. It's very hard to sort of find the balance between living free, doing what you want to do, and having that stability. But one thing that I do is I'm very good with saving. Very, very, very good with saving. Ever since I started working for myself, I've been very, very good with saving. I don't spend most of what I earn, so to help give you the freedom to go and enjoy things and also give you some stability, first of all, I'd recommend that you have an emergency fund. So if you don't have a house, you won't need it to cover like 6 months mortgage, but let's say you live with your mum and dad or you rent somewhere. You want to set up your emergency fund so you've got a few months of rent or board wherever you're staying at your mum and dad's house covered. If you've got a car, you want to have a few months payment for your car covered, a bit of money in there for like if anything goes wrong. And this won't be built up overnight. This will be like a good pot of money, but this will help to give you that cushion to fall back on. I would recommend starting to try and build up that emergency pot as soon as you can, because once you've got that and you know you've got those savings built up, it gives you a bit more of a safety blanket for if you do want to go and do other things. In terms of where you're going to put those savings, you're going to put them in a high yield savings account. Marcus by Goldman Sachs is about just under 5% at the moment. Interest rate, a lot of interest rates are higher at the moment, so there's a lot of banks where you can get a high yield savings account. I think Monzo has one which is 4 point something percent. Put your savings in that. It's better there than it is in like your standard bank account where you're getting 1%. It's not a huge ton, but it will help you out. It will earn you a little bit of interest. You don't want to lock it away for like 10 years at like 8% because you might need that money within 10 years. That's the whole point of an emergency fund. Any other savings that you've got, I would highly recommend, again, a high yield savings account. So this might be your savings for like traveling or going away somewhere. Deborah's there again. No, Deborah. Clothes, nights out, all this sort of stuff. Have that pot of money as well for fun. I'm not saying you have to save that up like and then burn through it, but like every month have like an allotted amount of money for like fun stuff, whether it's saving up for a holiday, saving up for some clothes, whatever it is that you enjoy, going out with your friends. And again, I would put that in a high yield savings account if you can afford to do so. I think something that could give you a bit of stability is putting some money away into investments. I'm not going to touch on that too much. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got a Vanguard Stocks and Shares ISA account, and I invest in the S&P 500 and an accumulation retirement fund. Those are my two investments at the moment. It will go up and down. You can lose money, so do not put any money in that. Even though people are like it's a pretty safe bet, do not put any money in that you cannot afford to lose. The first 2 months I lost money on that account, and now I've got a rate of return since I opened it of 20.8%, so that's gone up a lot. Obviously that's a lot more than a bank will give you, but it's also much more risky because in a week's time I could lose all of that. So do not put money into these accounts that you can't afford to lose, but that will give you a bit more money and should help to give you a bit more stability. Yeah, I just feel like having some savings will help to give you that stability whilst allowing you to be a little bit more free, because you'll have money to do stuff because you've saved things up, but then you've also got the safety net. And I would also just assess, what do you really want out of life, and think about it for you, not your mum and dad or your friends or your family or whatever. If there wasn't other people around you doing what they're doing, what would you be doing? Would you be going travelling for 6 months if all your friends were going travelling for 6 months, but you're putting it off because all your friends are actually settling down and buying houses and they've all got boyfriends and they're all getting pregnant? But if they weren't doing that, would you feel the desire to do that? Have a think about exactly what you want out of life. What do you want to do? Removing what other people around you are doing, because a lot of the times we don't actually want to do what we think we want to do. We just want to do it because everyone else is doing it. That's how I felt with a house, and now I'm like, do I actually want the golden cuffs of a mortgage? I'm not sure. I really do want a home to call my own, but is now the right time? I don't know. So have a think about what you actually really want, and if there was no outside noise, in 5 years' time, what are you going to want to have achieved? What are you going to want to look back on? Are you going to want to look back on having a home and having a partner and maybe like starting to start a family? Or are you going to want to look back on going travelling and living in multiple different places, trying out different jobs. What is it that you're going to want to look back on? It is hard. I struggle with it, as you can tell. I feel like my thoughts are not very coherent. It's really difficult. But that's basically my thoughts on that. So I hope that that helps. I've been talking for 1 hour and 13 minutes. So I'm going to stop this video now because I'm going to have to edit this probably tonight and then get it up for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to say a massive thank you for everyone who's been so kind to me over the past few weeks. On Friday, I had a lot of messages about people checking in that I was okay, because obviously everyone knew, on Instagram anyway, that Dan had gone. So I massively appreciate everyone that's reached out to me. I want to apologise for just like lack of consistency on here. I was doing really well with it, and then honestly it's just been a really shit few weeks, and it's hard to come on a camera and act all when the vibes are just incredibly off. But I am feeling ready to like come back to filming videos again, so let me know any videos that you do want to see. But yeah, I just wanted to sit down and film this so that like everything's sort of addressed, if you will. When I go back to like vlogging and stuff, it won't be confusing as to why I'm at my mum and dad's house and where's Dan, and I just basically want this video here as a life update and just to chat with you guys. I love doing like sit down chatty videos. Do they do as well? No. Do I absolutely love doing them? Yes. I just love talking, and I wish, honestly, if I could have made this video like 3 hours and just flesh out my thoughts on every single question, I would. I don't think anyone's gonna listen to that, so I'm gonna leave this video here. Do let me know any videos that you want to be seeing from me over the coming weeks in the comments. Let me know if anyone's got any ideas about like events I can hold for people to like come and bond and meet and make new friends. And yeah, I just hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you've had a better past 6 weeks than I have, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to and you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.